Y'all see that light switch? See this one? Okay. See, that one's now down. Alright. Now this one's up. That right there drives Jill bananas, man. She is OCD about light switches. I love it. So the first thing she'll do when she comes in is she will change those light switches back right there. She cannot stand for that one to be up, and I do it all the time. So we're gonna try something a little bit different here. See if this these trees right here are probably gonna mess me up right there. Let's see. Speed that thing up a little bit. See if it'll continue the rotation there when it trees.
It shouldn't be long getting down. He was getting on 82 and I went by.
You say daddy there?
Yeah, you did. I hear you out there now. Oh, ain't nobody coming out.
So this is actually going to work, I do believe, because it has not lost contact with what I've got it pivoting around. So this is going to be very cool here. So I just set the drone, the radius on it of what I wanted to do, and I set my loader as a point. When you're doing like active track or something like that, where you're following a vehicle or anything like that, it will, if it can't see what you have highlighted, you'll lose contact with it. But setting it on a point of interest where I set my loader as a center point right there, it actually uses it like a GPS point. So it doesn't matter if there's trees, in the line of sight right there or anything, it's still going to pivot around that point. Now, the cool thing is I can make it pivot, clockwise or counterclockwise, either way. So, pretty neat little feature. I actually did the audio with this thing while I was in the cab right there, but the clip got too long. I think this section of clip is a little bit longer than what the max is for transferring the audio cache. It still had the audio with it, except I could not transfer it all at the same time with the file when I was moving it. So therefore, that's the reason why this part has a voiceover on it right here. This happens to be a load of it's kind of like chip and saw. It's a little bit different than chip and saw now, the way they've got the mill done. But this is a job. We started this job back during the winter, and we were on this job all the way till Christmas, and we moved off of it right after Christmas, right before I think actually maybe New Year's Eve or the day before New Year's Eve, we moved off of this job. It got too wet on us. We were having a lot of trouble with the county road, and we went ahead and moved. And I'm not sure how much we got left on this one, but the one that we were on, we moved off of it, and of course came back to this one right here. And so we'll be able to finish this job pretty easy. It's got little rolling hills on it. They're not too bad, but the ground is like hard as a rock. Look, if you look at the bottom corner of the screen right there, that on the left right there, you can't see it now. There's a blue circle laying there on the ground. That's where I actually took the drone off from. I had the drone powered up, and I set it on. That's a landing pad right there. I don't like to fly it directly off the ground because of the amount of dirt and dust that it blows up, because them things push some serious air. So that's what that thing is for, anybody asks right there. But so I'm loading this thing in this truck, and I'm pulling these poles, and pulling poles. Those are poles that are laying on the ground behind the trailer. You see me drop wood on the ground, that's poles that I'm sorting out of the grapple fulls, and then once I get through loading it, I'll throw them in the pole pile. It's what I'll do with them. But this is some good wood right here. Glad to be back on this one to get it wrapped up. The clay ground that's up under it is like concrete right here. It's we ain't gonna have to worry about it going down on us or anything like that. Nor the county road. The county road's in great shape right now too. It's set back up. And of course, Kevin's not running right now. This was during lunch. I generally, when I eat, a lot of times I don't sit down long, because what happens is if a truck comes up, I usually just grab my food and just go right back in the get back in the loader, and I'll just eat when I can. I like to keep the trucks running. Every now and then I'll hold one up for a little bit, if we don't have wood or something like that. But most time, I hop right back up in the loader and get right back after it. But you can see the drone just goes around and around and around. I can set the speed of it, how fast it goes around, and then I can set the diameter of it at whatever I want to set it at too, which would actually be the radius, and then as it makes a circle, it turns into the diameter, whole diameter. So I kind of like it. I'll use it some more as time goes on. There's some other stuff that I've been playing with on the drone too, and just messing with, watching some videos on it, figuring things out, because they'll do the DJIs will do so much stuff, and they'll do so much it's kind of hard to take in. Going back talking about the wood, we're still very limited on what we can haul as far as hardwood pulpwood. And the wood situation is very confusing to me, because I went Saturday to get some 4x4 treated post. And the first place I went, they didn't have a single one. Not a one. I'm talking about a building supply store, not a one. So I looked on my Lowe's app, and they had some. I got the Lowe's. They had three 4x4 posts. And we have been on quotas, like insane quotas, limited on what we can haul. But yet, a lot of the building materials are out. Very limited supplies, especially the treated stuff. So I'm not real sure what's going on with that deal. Everything last several months, since March, since all this stuff's is come on, has been odd. You can't make heads or tails of it, And boy, it's tough when, not only us, but anybody out there trying to make a living, and you got to do this and got to do that. And it's just, I don't know. I think I just about got him finished here. I think that's about the last tree I'm putting on there, because I saw myself hesitate when I put that next to last on there, and he was probably telling me what he weighed. Yep, he's done. That was like, there he goes. He's pulling out. See, I'm grabbing those telephone poles up now. So y'all enjoy the rest of this video here, and see y'all. All right, so this is Operation Head to Noonan, Georgia. And back real quick. Let me move over here. Just past the car. We're well on our way. We are on I-20 right now, somewhere. But anywho, I'm just gonna kind of film along as I'm going, just kind of document it there, and we'll be there in a little bit. We're slowly getting light this morning. A lot more traffic out than what I figured it would be, especially this time of the morning like this on the interstate. So it's a tad after 5 now, and I'm already on the loop going around Birmingham here. This is 459 is what it's called. So we're doing pretty good. We're having a good time getting over there, and right around lunch, getting back to the woods or so, something like that, I guess. We're just gonna keep on rolling on along here. So we're right here in Hoover. That's the Galleria Mall sitting over there. Used to be a super nice place. Man, it was something else come over here and shot right there at that place and just go through it. But multi-level mall. But they've had in the last 12 months multiple killings there at that mall. The most recent of which was on July the 3rd, which was just the other day. They had a couple groups of people shooting at each other. So if you were to come to Birmingham now, I don't think I'd go to the Galleria to shop. I would come on up here to where 280 is, and I'd go to the Summit. And I think that's about where everything is done moved to now, or most everything is moved to. That's where the Apple Store and all that stuff is up there, REI. All your higher end stuff's up that way. So the sun is about to crack on over the horizon over there, getting a little bit more lighter now. So I'm back. I got back right at lunch, all the way to Newnan and back. It was actually a little off on my mileage. It was like 200, almost 250 miles. But that's the motor right there is sitting out. We got to put the connecting blocks on it there. I'll show y'all what it looks like. Alright, so this is it right here. That's it. It goes right there. So that motor ended up costing $4,800 is what it was. The last one that we got for that thing, which has been this coming November will be 2 years ago for the other side. It was right around $7 grand. That's what that one cost. And so not sure why it was such a price difference between the two, but nonetheless glad it was. And that's not a reman motor either, and there's no core on that motor. But that motor was the original one that was in the head when we bought it. It has it had over 19,500 hours on it, so you can't complain about how long it lasted or anything like that. But I went over there because they didn't have one in stock here, so they had it at the warehouse in Newnan, so I ran over there. And I had every intention of filming more as I went, but I was basically on a cannonball run, if you will. And I know you looked at the speedometer right there one time and it was showing 80. That's probably the slowest I went the whole time. It was, I was up, I rolled, I ain't gonna lie. The old Cummins, you can hear it when I let off of it that one time when the Jakes are wearing it out right there and everything. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, to get over and get back. I know when I pulled up in there, Miss Linda, when I walked in, she said, "Ma, you left early this morning, didn't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I did." I said, and I was not there. I probably wasn't even on the ground, not even 5 minutes. And we threw that thing in the back of my truck. And man, I was on the way back. And what's funny, there's somebody watching my video said they actually seen me over there in Newnan. They recognized my truck, and that's pretty cool that people watch the stuff and they're affluent with it enough to where they can pick my truck out even when I don't even live around there or anything. But so we got it back in that afternoon, and so that's the reason why I didn't film anymore. We just was balls to the wall and throwed down, swapped it out, got it back going, rolling right on. So we actually missed processing About 3/4 a day was all. Well, we kept loading. We had plenty of wood ahead to load, but I just wasn't gonna hassle with the camera, on that run going across there, and that's what I did. But hope y'all have a good week, and we'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.